All right, members of the committee, this is the Higher Ed Subcommittee. We'll start on page 5 of your tracking sheet with the common changes. All right, the first recommendation you'll see is an add. This is 40.1.2. This is part of the economic development initiative that's going on with the Board of Regents. And there's this is the food production and innovation, and the dairy stress heat, and the beef cattle animal scientist. That's an add of $425,000. The next several are softening of the recommended cut. First is in the cooperative extension service. This is 40.3.1. These are from 3 to 2.25%. Instead of the 3% cuts, 2.25%. We've recommended $663,000 worth of cut rather than $884,000. The next is in the Enterprise Innovation Institute. This is moving the cut to 3%. This is submitted by the agency from 1.5%. They let us know that they could work with a 3% cut. Next is Forestry Cooperative Extension. That is, again, a 3 to 2.25% softening of the original recommended cut from $15,000 to $11,000. Next is 40.6.2. That's forestry research. That's from 3% to 2.25%. The next, you've probably received several calls on this, and now that the archives, this is 40.7.2. Now that the archives has been transferred to the Board of Regents, we needed to provide funds to maintain the access to the Georgia archives. That's $224,000. Next change is 40.15.3. That's page 6. We've got a transfer of funds. We've got this several times in here. You'll see another from the Department of Education to the Board of Regents. This is the transfer of the SERS Discovery subscription and the Galileo transfer from DOE to Regents, with the attendant funds needed to do those. 40.18.1, there's a change in the teaching formula. That's just some later information from 62,854 to 62,915 with respect to a move from the Carl Vinson Institute from one salary position. All right, the next page. All right, page 7 of 10. Begin reading these, and you will hear there's been a lot of conversation with respect to this through the 13 budget. And there will continue to be some conversation, I'm sure. Start with 40.18.16. This deals with the special appropriation for Georgia Gwinnett College. The governor's recommended cut was $5 million. We've now received, I believe, a total of 5 separate proposals with respect to Georgia Gwinnett. We had the governor's original proposal. We had a proposal that the chancellor sent out during the 13 budget, and then we've had 3 other proposals during the last week from the regents and the university system. So that's a total of 5, and I guess you could call this the 6th proposal because it's a hybrid of those. What we've done is we've effectively softened the cut of $5 million. We took an $8.25 million cut. However, if you read line 40.18.7, we transferred 6.744 of the special appropriation into the funding formula, which is a continuation. That's goes on forever for them. So instead, the cut is more like 1.5 million rather than the original recommendation of 5. But we've taken 8.25 of the 16.5, put 6.744 into the continuation. So this year it's a effective $1.5 million cut. The next line just reflects the absence of any special enrollment appropriations at the other 33 institutions in the university system. 40.18.9 is increased funds. That's that That change in the teaching, that's the one position at Carl Vinson Services. The next is another transfer from the Department of Education. It's $50,000 for the Youth Science Technology. That's just a departmental transfer of funds. And then 40.18.11 was the elimination of the one-time funds for an eminent scholar. Next is the Vet Med Teaching Hospital. You probably heard a great deal about this. We're going to retain state funds to provide for the statewide access to this comprehensive veterinary ed. This is not just the University of Georgia. This is Fort Valley. This is APAC. They all send people there, and this is a contract. Coming on down, payments to the GPDV. Again, we're transferring funds from the Department of Education for the Discovery Education contract and related services. That's 1.416. Next page, student finance. The Excel program, which you're very familiar with dual enrollments and that type of thing. The 2013 actuals is what this number is based upon. Again, it looks like a cut. It's not a cut. We're basing this on the actual dollars they need and the demand they have for the program. So that's what that is. 44.2.1 is the engineer scholarship at Mercer University that we've funded historically. That's $131,750. Okay, coming on down. All right. These next several, you will, I'm sure, hear several comments about as well. I want to point out in 44.8.2 for the private institutions in the state of Georgia, we have increased the Hope Private School Award by 3%. Nothing changed, but I just want to point out that there is an increase of 3% in the awards that the private school students can get under the Hope Scholarship. Coming on down, 44.14.1. This is the TEG scholarship. You'll find it in your books a list of all of the private institutions in the state and the amount of their annual tuition and the amount of the award percentage. Currently, it's $700 is the award. We're going to take that $700 award and move it to $500. You can see that's a difference in 1.1% on average across the awards. So instead of 500, that nets us a gain of $6,034,000. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're trying to do across the board, we have under this committee's purview the Technical College System of Georgia, the Regent System of Georgia, and through the TEG and the Hope Private, the private colleges that we fund. We've got to try to balance. And a lot of you've heard the testimony in committee about where TCSG was. They had an effective 10% cut. We've now added 8,000 students based on the changes in the 3 and 2. We're looking at a $27 million cut in one educational opportunity in the state of Georgia. This $6 million is going to go to try to mitigate some of that from $27 million. You'll see it on the next page. That's 46.4.1 from $27 million to $21,394,000. That only takes them from 10 to a 10% cut to a 6% cut. Probably not enough. One of the biggest challenges that TCSG faces is the accreditation process this year. We have a 50% standard for part-time instructors. Just about every single school that is going to have an accreditation visit is significantly above that standard. The last time that happened to us, it cost us millions of dollars just to bring it up to speed. I believe that was Lanier. We're looking at a train wreck if we don't get a handle on our ability to fund the TCSG program. So we are balancing the three. That is only a $200 per scholarship cut. So I'm sure you'll hear about it, but that'll be the recommendation from this committee. And the final page was the technical education. That was 46.4.1. That softens that cut from $27 million, 10% to 6% at $21 million. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a description of what is in the House Bill 106 tracking sheet. If there are any questions, if not, I'll accept a motion. All right, it's been moved. Is there a second? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much.